Welcome to Bullats. This is the Bullats online speaking test.
One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five.
Read the instructions and information carefully. Part 1. Interview. You will be asked 8 questions. Listen to each question and respond after the tone. Look at the timer to see how much time you have to give your answer. Can you tell me your full name?
My full name is Uriel Alejandro Caballero Gamon. I am from Mexico.
How do you spell your surname?
It is Caballero. It's Caballero, or knight in English.
Where are you from?
I was born in Torreon, Mexico, but then I moved to Durango for the work of my parents.
What do you like most about your hometown?
What I like most about my hometown is that there's like a complete forest outside of the city, and you can go hiking. And
What's your job?
I work as an architect in the design department of a architecture firm, which is Architecture and Partners, and I work with clients, and I work in new projects almost all time.
What exactly does your job involve?
My work involves a lot of trainings with new clients to see what they need, what they want, and then after we learn that, I have to create a new project for each client to fit better to their needs and to their likes.
What made you decide on this kind of work?
Since I was a little kid, I have always loved architecture. And it's been one of my biggest dreams to make history when what building, to win the Pritzker Prize, to be remembered because of my architecture and make history.
How do you use English in your work?
I use English in my work every time that I have to deal with a new client that isn't from Mexico or that doesn't speak Spanish, like if he is from England or Australia, USA, or some other country.
Part 2. Reading aloud. You will see 8 sentences on the screen. Read each sentence aloud after the tone. Look at the timer to see how much time you have to give your answer. Question 1.
This is the latest version of the plan.
Question 2.
These are the minutes of the last committee meeting.
Question 3.
Sales have risen faster than expected over the last quarter.
Question 4.
I will give you a summary of the figures at the end of my talk.
Question 5.
Mr. Bond apologized for not being able to attend the reception.
Question 6.
Permission to develop the land must be gained in advance.
Question 7.
Dr. Clark would like you to phone her back before 3 o'clock.
Question 8.
The design should follow the guidelines set out in the tender specifications.
Part 3. Presentation. You will have 1 minute to talk about a topic. First, you have 40 seconds to read the task and prepare what you are going to say. You will then be given 1 minute to speak. Please begin speaking now.
The perfect office of my dream work would be probably in Sweden, because I have always dreamed with living in Sweden and living its forest and with its lakes. I think it's like a dream place. So that's where this dream office would be for me. And I think it's really, really important that the office should have a very impressive look and a very contemporary style, because after all it would be an architecture office. So it's very important that our clients get impressed by how our office looks, because if our offices doesn't look good, then how are they going to trust us? And it is also very, very important that the office has tons and tons of light and a really, really workplace.
Part 4. Presentation with graphics. You will have 1 minute to talk about some visual information. First, you have 1 minute to look at the task and prepare what you are going to say. You will then be given 1 minute to speak. Please begin speaking now.
As we can see in this pie chart of the PECCO experts, we can appreciate how in the year of 2005, Japan dominated the exports of this company by having 75% of the export market. And Brazil had only 10% and Canada had a 15%. But by the year of 2006, Brazil almost triple himself by going from 10% to 30%, and Canada remains stable at 50%, but Japan decreased almost a third. And by the year of 2007, Brazil decreased a little bit to 25%, and Canada increased in 10%. And Japan decreased an extra 5% to reach a 50.
Part 5. Communication activity. You will imagine you are in this situation. You have 40 seconds to read the task. How important do you think the location of a conference is?
Well, the location of a conference it's extremely important because it will determine how many people will go there. You know, if it's really outside of the city, not a lot of people it's going to go there. But if it's in the center of the city, it's more probable that people will go there.
What equipment should a good conference center have?
It needs to have a really, really good sound equipment, because if you are in a conference and you can hear what the conference speaker is talking about, then you are not going to want to be in that conference. So it needs to have a really good sound equipment.
What catering facilities do you expect to find in a good conference center?
Every conference center needs to have good catering facilities, because when you're in a conference, this conference tends to be sometimes really long, and it's necessary for the audience to clear their mind for 5 minutes, and they can do this while they eat a snack to grab some energy.
What makes a good conference speaker?
I think that one of the most important qualities that a good conference speaker needs to have is confidence. Confidence in himself and confidence in the topic he is talking about. Because if he doesn't have confidence in himself or in the topic he's talking about, then he's not going to convince the audience.
What is the ideal length of a good conference?
I think that a good conference should be 2 hours, 3 hours tops, because then the audience starts to get tired, and then you just want to get away of the conference. You stop paying attention to what they are saying.
That's the end of the Bullet speaking test.